I'm Sean Richards with Blue Sky Business Consulting, and we help business owners move from a growth model to a scaling model. Well, what exactly is that? What's the difference between a growth model and a scaling model? Well, let me show you. Let's imagine for a minute that you are the business owner. Underneath you, you may have a small team. You may have a lot, you may have just a few, but whatever it is, this is your team. And this is the growth model. The problem with the growth model, depending on your vision, is that there is a capacity limit. There's only so much that you and your team can do. So the solution to that is to move to a scaling model. And in the scaling model, you still have you up here. You're the business owner. But typically in a scaling model, you now have some other folks that are working with you. And this is your executive team. So this is kind of your executive leadership right here, working with you. They all report to you. But underneath them, they each have teams or departments or divisions or however you have it organized. But this all contributes to a scaling model. See, now there is no capacity limit. Now you can just keep expanding, keep growing the business almost indefinitely to a certain point. Now, here's something to keep in mind, though. If you're in this situation where you as the business owner, maybe you're making 150, 250,000, whatever it is a year, work-life balance is good, you're happy, your team is happy, there's really no reason to move to a scaling model. If everything is going well, you shouldn't put pressure on yourself to then move to a scaling model just for the sake of going to a scaling model. If you're happy with things the way they are, stay there. Now, if you're moving to a scaling model and you're going to have other people involved, whether it's executive leadership or down here, the rank and file, however you choose to call them, here's where it gets challenging. When you're making that leap, there are 4 hurdles that you're going to have to jump over in order to effectively move to a scaling model. Most of the time, those 4 areas kind of stay dormant over here because everything funnels through you as the sales or as the business owner. You make all the decisions, you make sure everything is done the way that you want it to be done. But when moving to a scaling model, those 4 areas can trip you up. That's when those formerly dormant issues become very apparent. Those 4 areas are: number 1, financial; number 2, systems and operations; number 3, leadership and teams; and then the 4th is emotional well-being. Everything from work-life balance to not being too stressed and being able to manage everything the way that it needs to be managed without getting overwhelmed. So keep in mind that this is what you want to consider. And this leap is typically where all the problems will start to come to the surface that need to get resolved. And they typically will come very quickly, and sometimes you can't see them coming. Now, here at Blue Sky Business Consulting, we help the business owners kind of foresee some of those challenges, looking at those 4 areas and how to solve them. And if you're already into this model and you're running into those things, certainly we can help you solve those as well. In future videos, I'm going to talk a little bit more about those 4 areas and some questions that you can ask yourself on whether you're ready to make that leap to the scaling model, or if you're in that situation, where some of the biggest points will be. Thanks so much for watching. For more information, go to blueskybizconsulting.com, or you can find me on LinkedIn.